great God. When you think about fully relying on God, it often comes to us to think, how can we possibly do it? And for me, one way I do it is by thinking about the verse in Proverbs 3. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. That's the phrase of that verse that stands most to me, because I often think Mary Arnold is right. And not only is she right about her life, she's right about your life. Hence, I'm a good reason I was called to ministry. One of the reasons now, because I can tell you how to live. And that's what I get myself in trouble when I start to try to understand events that are happening. Like, why did 13 people Marines and many others get killed and injured? And also a Navy corpsman, I was told, that they support the Marines. Those people were killed in Afghanistan this week. Why would something horrible like that happen? It doesn't make sense to my mind. Why is there a hurricane barreling down on New Orleans? Why are there massive fires out west and the air is so bad quality? Why do we still have COVID-19 and coming in different variants now? And I've been praying and praying for it not to. For it to be healed. Why? Why is someone driving like a crazy person? I often pray that. I wonder about that question when I'm out on the road. Why are you driving like an idiot? And I have to remind myself, do not be so judgmental. Do not rely on your understanding, but trust in the Lord. And what does the Lord tell us? He tells us these kind of things happen. And if you look at history, they've happened throughout history. This isn't the first time we've had wars. This isn't the first time there's been fires. This isn't the first time there's been earthquakes or floods or all sorts of terrible things. That's the way the world works, and it has worked for since its creation. There's been problems after the fall. There's been problems. So how can I live in that? I can only live in it successfully when I trust in the Lord, when I fully rely on God, when I let Him take care of the big things, and I take care of the things that I can take care of. And how can I take care of the things that I can take care of? By reminding myself of this: my God doesn't change. He is not a shifting shadow. So many things are shifting shadows, including myself. One minute I can be nice, the next minute I can be saying something snarky. And I'm like, what? Where did that come from? Especially at church. You're supposed to, this morning, at first service, I was really raking up the snarky comments. I was like, great. That's such a great way for a pastor. Don't be so snarky. But God doesn't change. He's not snarky one day and nice the next moment. That's not how our God works. Our God is loving and kind and compassionate. That's how our God works. Now, if you encounter other things and you think they're God, that's not our God, because God does not change. God is loving and compassionate. He gives us good things. Every good and perfect thing comes from our God. If you have good things in your life, they are from our God. And He brought us forth by the word of truth. And we know who's that word? Jesus, that we have all come forth through Jesus. And as we turn to Jesus, we know God better. And we, then, out of all of creation, you are His most precious possession. Can you imagine that? Human beings, out of all of creation, are His most precious possession. So I want you to say that with me right now. I am God's precious possession. I am God's precious prized possession. I am something God treasures. And not only me, but that crazy driver out there on the road. Yes, it's because we, not just us sitting here in this congregation, it's talking about all of humanity. We, out of all of the creations, are God's prized possession. You and I are God's prized possession. And so we need to calm our fears. And we need to think, how can I more rely on God's love? And how does God want me to act? Well, of course, He always wants us to act loving. Loving towards Him and loving towards others. So instead of honking my horn when that person is driving bad or tailgating them to get them motivated to do something different, no, that's not loving. Loving is just give it some space, give it some time, and take that deep breath and say, hey, how can I experience God while I'm in the midst of this? How can I experience God's blessing? Where can I find the good in something? I was listening to a radio program this week, and I was so interested in this person's attitude. They didn't profess, this is a public radio, so they weren't professing faith or anything, but they said they knew if there was something bad happening, then there was something good around somewhere, and that was their challenge to find the good. And I thought that's so biblical for us to find the good. So whenever you see a frog, I want you to start thinking about how can I, fully rely on God more? Where in this circumstance could I be more trusting and more reliable? What can I think about God's personality that I know? Where can I see God working? And when we fill our hearts with that truth, then you'll find you're kinder, you're more loving, you're more at peace, even as the world tumults about us. And so I just want to close with this story of a frog. Now, again, I have plenty of frogs. So when you find a frog you like that reminds you of me, you keep it to remind yourself of me. I wish I would have said that several years ago, but I didn't think of it that quick. But I was doing some premarital counseling, then I did a wedding for a couple that were not church. They didn't come to my church. I never saw them in the church before or after the wedding. And we had a nice wedding, of course, got to know them good, and it was fun. Didn't think anything more about it. And a few weeks after the wedding, I was surprised when they came in. I thought, did you forget something? What happened? I was glad to see them, but what's going on? I knew they had gone on a honeymoon, down to an island or something fun like that. And they came in with this little stone frog. And they said, we thought of you, Pastor, when we were on our honeymoon. Fully rely on God. So I tell you this, friends. I thought with that couple, my labor was in vain as a pastor. It wasn't going to amount to anything. I was just doing it, get it done. When you work for the Lord, whatever you might do for the Lord, your labor is never in vain, never useless, never worthless. You may plant a seed for the Lord, and the Lord will bloom and bring the harvest. So do not get discouraged. That's another part you have to do when you fully rely on God, is to trust that the work you're about for Him, He will bring to fruition the way He wants for His kingdom. So fully rely on God. Be a frog person. And you keep those frogs for yourself. All right? All right.